Do you agree or disagree?
A little both.
A little both.
Yeah.
Mind if I ask you why?
I think some kids are too young to understand it.
Yeah.
I also think that some kids that are a little bit more mature, 15, 16, 17-year-old, they do understand it, and I think they have a right to choose. Well, there you go.
Yeah, the opposition's always loud.
So, okay, so her stance was that 15, 16, 17-year-olds, they know what they want, younger doesn't. Why do you say so? Why the difference there?
I think that they should have a little bit more time to comprehend the things in life and how they really truly feel.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think about that?
Well, so there's a friend of mine, her name's Chloe Cole.
Oh, sorry.
She's been speaking up about this all across the country. She has autism, like almost half of these kids do, statistically speaking. And at 13, she was put on puberty blockers and testosterone. At 15, she was given a double mastectomy. I think it was just 11 months later, she had deep regrets. She'd suffered other abuse as well, as many of these kids have. And now, she doesn't have her breasts. She's not sure if she can have kids because of the effects of testosterone. And some 16-year-olds are much more mature than others, but they're still children. Their brains, the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for logical decision-making, doesn't finish fully forming until 25. I know when I was 16, I may not look like the smartest person on the street, but I did okay in school. But man, the stuff I did when I was 16 and still at 20, like most people, I did a lot of dumb things.
I'm 47, I still do dumb things.
Yeah, now we expect kids who've struggled with who knows what trauma or abuse, or they have other mental health comorbidities. We expect these kids to be able to make lifelong, permanent decisions to their fertility, to their future sex life, and they're irreversibly harming their bodies. So, I don't know, I still think 15 or 16 or 17 is very young.
I think that it shouldn't be just something that you should just on a whim do something. I think there should be, just like any other mental health aspect, you should talk to somebody, you should understand all the aspects of it. I'm not saying just go run to the doctors because you're 16 years old and go, oh, look, this is what I want to do today. So.
It's interesting to talk about the process. Chris, could you maybe weigh in a little bit about the process there?
Yeah, there should be a process, and almost everyone thinks there is one because there used to be.
I don't think there is right now.
The practice today is to even suggest therapy for these kids, according to the activists, the hardcore activists that push this, to even suggest that therapy or time is needed is to invalidate the person's gender identity.
Honestly, I think everybody should go to therapy.
Yeah, especially before we do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I think there should be... The Attorney General of Missouri, for example, laid out this process. I think it was over a period of 2 years. There should be at least, I think he said, 15 separate appointments first to discuss these various things. And that was even for adults. But for kids, yeah, there should be a long process because who knows what's going on with these kids? It could be anything.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And
So we agree on that point for sure.
And do you mind if I ask you really quick? We started off with this conversation saying 15, 16, 17. After hearing what he's talking about right there, change your mind a little bit there, maybe?
No. I think
Still
that
no?
there should be an avenue for kids to explore the things that are in their minds, and if they go, I think, like I said, that there should be some kind of a mental health tract for them to go through, and if they really do go through this and this is really something that they want to do, then they should be able to do it.
Because what's the harm in waiting until 18, for example?
That's I've seen some 18-year-olds that act like 6-year-olds. I've seen some 15 and 16-year-olds that act like 40-year-olds that have a better head on their shoulders than some of these people that are on the street every day.
Yeah, historically, so this condition's called gender dysphoria. This intense loathing, basically. Historically, according to all the academic studies, before we gave kids puberty blockers, more than 80% of them grew out of it when they went through puberty, and a majority actually grew up to be gay. So one demographic that's really being harmed by this are kids who grow up to be gay. Effeminate little boys, it's not a big surprise. Yes, some of them grow up to be gay, but now they're being told that just because they're effeminate, because they don't conform to these regressive stereotypes, that maybe they were born in the wrong body. I think ideologically this whole thing is based on a lie, and we have this explosion of kids today who are believing in this.
I don't agree with they were born in the wrong body. My brother's 3 years older than I am. He grew up putting on my mom's shoes, and he's the straightest man you ever met.
It's a good thing he's not a kid today. They would have sent him for some of this.
This is true, probably. But, if parents are open to allowing their kids to explore what's makes them happy. You know, little kids, if a little boy wants to play with a Barbie doll, knock yourself out. If a little girl wants to play with a honky truck, knock yourself out. You want to go play football in the dirt? Go do you.
Right.
I
This
mean,
is what I say all the
It seems
time.
very reasonable right there. That seems very reasonable. What seems not as reasonable is you want to go make life-altering decisions under the age of 18, knock yourself out. Let's get a couple therapy sessions and stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
You agree?
That there should be some kind of a therapy session to validate some of the things that they're feeling and make sure that it's that way.
So that seems to be really where she's focused
Totally
on.
reasonable.
More therapy, but under the age of 18, still more therapy. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, for me, it's an absolute no kids. I think even for young adults, we should still be doing therapy on young adults. Tons of these people who are detransitioning today started as adults because who knows what's going on in their life, and now they have deep regrets.
I also think that some people do it as a fad, as oh look, this is what I want to do today. I don't think that's okay.
Trans-trender, they're calling it.
There you go. I like it. Trans-trender. That's pretty good.
We heard that from a young girl.
They're removing so many barriers, and what I really object to is these things being pushed and being called LGBT rights when it goes against gay people time and time again.
Look, I don't. So my other half at this point is a woman. I love her to death. She identifies as straight, and it is. I mean, it is what it is. I don't put a label on things. I can't stand when people peg me into this is what
box.
you are, or this is what you do.
Right.
You know, I grew up dating guys, girls. It didn't matter to me as long as I fell in love with a person. So, and as far as somebody telling me, oh, you're this way because, or oh, you wear t-shirts and shorts and Vans, then you're this way. I'm not cool with that, and I think that people should be allowed to express themselves how they want to. If I want to have short hair, I should be able to have short hair. You want to grow your hair long, knock yourself out. You want to put it in pigtails like Pippi Longstocking? Do you? I don't care. I shouldn't judge you for that because there's way more things that I could be judged for than that. So.
Yeah, sexuality exists. It's measurable. Mm-hmm. Gender identity is an ideology with no real basis to it at all. I think we should abolish it completely because there's no right way to be a boy or a girl, and that's what this is teaching them.
Exactly.
So it's just nonsense.
Well, we've mentioned the gingerbread man before, and it breaks down all these things and says, you might be this. And it's like, no, you might just be a different kind of girl. Maybe you're a gay girl. Right. But you might just maybe a little bit more of a tomboy. Mm-hmm. You know, they're describing personality traits and saying that it's some ideal or gender, you know, it's some form of gender, and that's just not the case.
You're absolutely correct.
Hey, thank you so much for talking with us today. Really appreciate you. Were super respectful and really a great conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did.
I did. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
What was your name?
Tony.